I want to see this longevity. Researchers say they're close to reversing aging.
Scientist David Sinclair has spent the last 20 years working to defy aging.
How many times have you heard, if you're over the age of 40, well, you're getting sick, you're getting this pain, your eyesight's degrading. Don't worry, that's just normal aging. I really don't agree with that approach.
Sinclair believes the root cause of aging and health decline stems from damage to the so-called epigenome, the part of our cells that turn genes on or off.
Our bodies have two different types of information. We all know about the DNA. Now, there's another type of information that most people don't know about. It's called
Sergio
the
Tacchini,
epigenome,
thank you for
and
the
it's
10
reader
gifted
of the
subs.
DNA. Like, if you have a compact disc, it's like scratches on the compact disc, so you can't read the music. As we get older, we lose the ability to read our DNA correctly.
And so how do we get those scratches off?
We had this breakthrough a couple of years ago, and so we found that there was a way to get the scratches off and reverse the age of cells.
In his study, Sinclair restored optic nerve cells and sight in mice with vision loss from both aging and a condition that stimulated glaucoma.
The way we did that in the mice, and we cured blindness with them, was to turn on 3 genes that are normally on in embryos. And when we turn those 3 genes back on in the adult tissue, the mice regenerate and they get their vision back.
And now, in what the researchers are calling the first study of its kind, Sinclair and his team were able to age the mice and then make them younger again. In this video shared by Harvard, these mice are the same age, yet...
You guys are making fun of this guy? He's literally 200 years old, okay? Yeah, guess what? Liberals have no answer for this.
One
Checkmate,
is visibly
atheists.
older. How did they do it? By literally breaking up the DNA, forcing the body to repair itself, which he says accelerates aging.
The mice actually do not just look old, but they literally are older by about 50%. They get gray hair, they get wrinkled skin, their organs are old.
The results were shared at a conference earlier this year and are under review for publication. This groundbreaking technology builds on the Nobel Prize-winning work of Japanese scientist Shinya Yamanaka, who discovered how cells can be reprogrammed to be stem cells, which then can develop into cells of any type in the body. Using this method, Sinclair showed me how his team is trying to study memory loss by turning skin cells into tiny brains.
Here they are, these little beauties. So these are mini human brains we've grown for a number of months, and these ones have been aged so that they're 70 years old, and we can measure their activity, and their brain activity is slowing down as they get older. They're full of inflammation like a normal old brain would be, and in this experiment we're now testing, can we reverse the age of those brains so they work again? And the answer is...
That's kind of weird, bro. What the fuck? I'm turning into a goddamn Luddite here.
Yeah, we can do that.
In early experiments, his team says they are using electrodes to measure activity in cells from the brain.
As those get older, they fire less, and then we can reverse that and get them to work again.
And so you've seen that by reversing it, they start firing more.
That's right. Yep, we can make them young again and work like they used to.
While much more research is needed, Sinclair hopes that one day, reversing aging could be as simple as a pill at the doctor's office.
So maybe once a year you go get a prescription for your doctor, you take it for a week, and it reverses your aging? Is that your vision here?
Well, it's not just a vision, it's going to happen.
There's a study from years ago that proved that extending the epigenome makes the risk of cancer greater too. Because cells live in a small window where on one side cells are less efficient and die, on the other side they're super efficient and become cancer. Yeah, I don't know, man. I feel like I've seen far too many fucking zombie movies. You know what I mean? I've seen too many movies where this kind of stuff ends up, you know, going sideways. All right. Also, if this was a real thing, if they ever actually fully invented this thing, it would be so insanely expensive. There's no shot. There's no shot that they would make this. Why would you want to live for so long? This place is hell. First and foremost, my friend, the people that want to do that are so caked up. Okay? It's not you, Twitch chatter. It's people. Notice how it's always people like Elon Musk, Jeffrey Epstein, Henry Kissinger, and people like that are always trying to extend the human life. It's not you. It's always people like that want to stay around forever. Because one, they got the money to keep him going. Wish these absolute freaks were as enthusiastic about further research into chronic illnesses and mental health care. I think they are. What up, bro? I think that that's unfair to say. I think that they are, especially because like Alzheimer's, dementia, and like stuff that will absolutely, without a doubt, impact them in the future. Because like all those diseases that you mentioned, they will impact them. They're not like just trying to reverse aging. They're also absolutely trying to cure that sort of stuff too. Those are related things because diseases still will be. You know, they'll Steve Jobs ultimately still died of cancer. You know. This guy says, Sinclair, that this anti-aging serums would treat COVID because it was killing more old people, so we should make them younger, then they don't die. Wait, what? They haven't brought a single Alzheimer's drug to market in like 20 years. Yeah, and the most famous one was like literally fraudulent, if you remember. Like a decades-long project was built on top of just faulty data. We found out recently. It's really sad stuff. Deadly Keegan Bana, thank you for the 25. Get the subs. Making me that much closer to being able to get the anti-aging cure serum. Yeah, Jenks here. Steve Jobs wanted to do it traditionally to cure it, though. Yeah, I know. He was a green shake enthusiast, and ultimately it didn't work out.
It's like asking the Wright brothers, are we going to fly? Well, of course we are. It's just a question of when.
Dr. Akshay Syal joins us now.
When are you coming on?
I have seen Resident Evil too many times. So, of course, I'm wondering.
When are you coming on, bro?
You want to edit my genes? Even for anti-aging? What? This sounds like it's both really tough science and potentially quite risky. Like, what's the flip side of all this?
Well, so, you know, the qualifier here is there's a lot more work that needs to be done. But to your point, I mean, it sounds like science fiction. I mean, he's taking these mice who couldn't see from getting older, from getting glaucoma, which is damage to the optic nerve, and he's restoring their vision. I mean, it does sound a little bit like science fiction, to your point.
What is the timeline, though, for making this a reality? I mean, for something like a drug, like there's a whole process.
What is this? Sinclair's a scammer? You should really talk with Homozygote at some point. This is a 36-month subscriber. What is this? Everyone is as good as their last vaccination, and we're in need of the Omicron-specific boosters being reviewed by FDA right now to cut transmission. Is this person, is this just a chatter? Like, what's happening here? He's a PhD Andy in the community? Oh, okay. Of course he is. Of course he's a PhD Andy. Can't stand him, dude. He's also a shrimmer. Oh, nice. He's a grad student studying aging now. I know how Marat feels when aeronautics is brought up and misrepresented. Bro, I think at this point you should understand that I'm anti-science, okay? I'm anti-science, homie. When will you not understand? The only reason you're not bald is because of PhD Andy's brother. Yeah, I'm also joking. Can I just, goddamn. People fighting on behalf of PhDs and their honor is so funny because, like, you're not a PhD. Shut up. Anyway, me and my molecular biology PhD reporting for duty right now. I don't know how any of this stuff works, okay? You literally used science to explain why vertical donut is better? Okay, that's the limitation to my science. So.
Phase 1, 2, 3 trials, but what does the doctor say the timeline is for this?
Yeah, so, you know, he's hopeful in the next 10 to 15 years, but the thing is, you do need more rigorous studies in animals. You really need to prove that this works. And then after that, you need to trial this in humans. You need to prove it's not only, you know, working as it should, but it's also safe and it doesn't cause any unwanted side effects. Like you just talked about, you're editing your genes. I mean, that's probably going to be a big concern for a lot of people.
Although, on the flip side, just so the sci-fi nerds among me don't have the last word, we have come a long way in terms of what we can do with genetic editing, with procedures like CRISPR and so on, really being able to manipulate genetic codes in fairly stable and replicable ways, right?
Yeah, and so, Dr. Sinclair has been studying this for the last 20 years. He started out at MIT, and he's had this lab at Harvard for decades now. And, what he's basically saying is that if you'd asked him 20 years ago, would I be here today? Would I have restored vision in mice? I think he'd tell you he was pretty surprised. He didn't think we'd come this far so quickly. So, yes, it does sound like science fiction, but it's really, really promising.
Yeah, Peter Thiel is really into this stuff, 100%. Bro, I just want a pill that lets me fucking eat whatever I want and stay shredded, okay? And I want the hairline pill, which I already have, and it's been pretty good, but I want like even more hair. I want one pill that I can take that I can just like dunk immediately. Okay, I could just like basically fly. I want, what else? I'm sure Chatters would want the 6'4" pill. Okay, that's a good one, right, Chatters? Like these are all things that you could, if you combine those things, like it's great. And then also on top of that, not getting Alzheimer's when your family members have it and have died from it. I just want a pill that gets me bitches.